Yes.
It's a conversation. And so I'm responding to your questions and you're responding to my response.
It's more like an interview, but more of, you could say, a conversation if you want.
Right. And then subsequently, my voice will be faded and an interpreter will go over the top of what I'm saying.
If they use a translator, they could be for some English language consumption.
Okay.
See, the Maxim's overall plan is to make a television show for broadcast in Russia. And it's called Masters of the World or Masters of the Universe or something like that. And that, but the original concept now is that, and you'll have to stop shooting whenever we're doing something that is valuable, because every click will show up here. The program would be edited for use on the Russian television.
Right. Okay.
But before that, sometimes websites might feature you. For instance, if you were going to Russia, there would be a Russian website that features your picture and your image. You're answering some questions and that sort of thing, particularly for sales, to get people to come to a seminar you might do and that sort of thing. And there can be other uses of the tape, sometimes years later. You know, it could be when you're no longer living. The tape of you is your teachings 10, 20 years from now or more. So Maxim wants to take them for all those purposes. And he wants you to understand that and know that. And then you can say, yes, go ahead and take me for those purposes. And of course you're going to say, if you're doing this for commercial purposes, that is to say, if you're selling a show about it, let me look at it first. You know, make sure that what I say is what I mean to say.
Am I also giving him the 100% rights to these, or is there any royalties?
Well, that's what we need to talk about. Is right now there are no royalties to give.
Right.
And he's hoping to use this to generate some royalties. And the question is, if the show becomes profitable in the future, would you be paid something?
Right.
And I don't know the answer to that question. And it even doesn't have to be answered now. You could say that if in the future you're making a lot of money and you want to use me, call me up. You know, if say for instance he's going to make more than a certain amount of money, 10,000 pounds or $10,000 or 5,000 or something. If that amount of income comes in, and then conceivably there'd be something for you, before he does that, give you a call.
Right.
Or give your agent a call or whoever it is and work it out. So that's why we say now, while we're doing all this, use it, but if there's some money to be made, call me before you use it.
Right.
And then the other thing is that if you're going to put me on a television program, let me look at it ahead of time to make sure that what I'm saying, and also if somebody's asking you a question in Russian and then you begin to answer and somebody else is translating you, you want to have some Russian speaking person listen to this to make sure that what they're saying and what you're responding to connect somehow. And so what you would then say is, now, great, now before you use any of these things for certain purposes, send me a copy.
So all of you that you have said now is on tape. All I need to do is agree with that and say that that's how I want it.
Right.
Okay?
Right. And that's what I'm thinking. And have you been listening to that stuff on the earphones?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so if she can hear it on the earphones, it's on the tape.
Very good. Okay.
I just want to mention that at the moment there are no special agreement with some television channel, because in our experience, so we have like 9-year trip around the world, and at certain points we found interesting people for us and for people in Russia. So we made some like recordings of conversation, and then we just have this amount of tapes, and occasionally it's appeared one movie, and but it's mostly about our experience. But we would like to make another one about experiences of people that we met during this trip.
Right.
And the basic concept is like to find the way how to pass, how to transit the master's energy. So idea that this book really can't teach you anything. So to be able to get something strong inside, you have to be really in personal contact with master. But for most of people, it's really impossible. So, like a videotaping is like the possibilities to transfer this energy, and the idea that everything that we're doing, we have to mention and have it in our mind, the people who is listening that. So we're looking for their problems, their new surges of their life. So basically the idea not just to represent the master, but represent it that way, that is, people became really inspired and they get new insights, new ideas, and they moved on with their own lives. So that was the idea basically of this concept.
Okay. And if I mention the book, then on B-roll you would put up the Russian version of the book.
Yeah, that's absolutely great.
Right. And,
yeah.
and worksheets or any other tool that I mentioned. And I think they're all in Russian. I'm not sure about that CD.
I'm not sure about the CD either.
It may or may not be, I'm not sure. But I can, Sophia Press is the people that publish all my
that's
stuff.
the best edition, and we all have their books.
Yeah.
So it's already published there
Yeah.
in Kiev.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So if I talk about the book, I know that it's going to come up on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall
So
you
we'll
begin,
start.
or?
Well, what do we want to see what this looks like? See
Yeah, maybe,
what
yeah,
the sound quality is?
yeah,
So I'll
let's
turn it
check.
off.